Welcome everyone to Kindness Kids. I'm Jennifer Sharp from Daisy Lane Publishing, and today we are speaking with and celebrating Siobhan Wilson. Did I say your name right?
Siobhan, yes.
I did, yes. Good. Siobhan, you have an incredible story of kindness that you're going to be sharing with us. And I guess your underlying belief is that kindness means going out of your way to help others, do something nice for someone, and just have them feel good about themselves. So, welcome, Siobhan, and let's dive right in with our first question. Who are you? Who are you today?
Yeah, so I'm Siobhan. I'm 16 and I'm the founder and owner of the social enterprise called Our Pixie Friends. We help support children with medical needs and trauma to not feel alone using pixie characters. So I've published 3 books. I actually have them here if you'd like to
Oh,
see them.
awesome. Yes.
So this one's Zizzy the Wheezy Pixie meets Moondrop. It's about a pixie going to hospital, and helping a little boy, helping a pixie with chemotherapy, and also talking about
Wow.
going in an ambulance and going to hospital. We've also got Minxie the Meltdown Pixie helps Tommy, which is about anxiety and meltdowns, and
Yeah.
feeling brave with some practical strategies. Because I was born 3 months early at 27 weeks, so I have a lot of medical needs myself, and so growing up, I was really anxious and I had a lot of exclusion. Um, and so these books actually helped me to process my world as such.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
actually is now to find that they're helping kids to um, understand themselves and know that they are not the only ones in the world, that they're actually good enough as they are.
Yeah.
Um, and this one is Cicala the Snoozy Pixie visits Amy. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Oh, it doesn't want to,
Um,
doesn't want to. Oh,
no.
there it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Cicala the Sneezy Pixie visits Amy, which is about overcoming your fears of a medical procedure. But it's really about anything in life. So it's all to help support children to know they're not the only ones. Um, I also give gift packs to children experiencing trauma through community and business sponsorship. Um, so it's to help kids with domestic violence, homelessness, abuse, kids in hospital, with medical needs. And we've also been able to give 500 of those gift packs to children. So we've got one for young children
Oh,
and one for teenagers. And the teenage pack is also good for young adults. And we are also thinking of giving some to young mums and young parents. But in the packs, one of our most popular things are cozy pals. So they fit on
oh,
your wrist. They
oh,
have no
cool.
eyes, so they don't care what you look like. They have ears to hear your worries, but no mouth to share your secrets. And they live on hugs and snuggles. So we have lots of kids who just love to snuggle with them at night time. I personally love the soft texture. It's not the hard, clicky plastic that's in our world, that disturbs other people. They're actually soft and silent. Um, and then we have ones for older children, teenagers, adults, that are more discreet, so they can got your jump sleeve or in your pocket. So I had this one when I was in the ambulance, and I also had this one when I was traveling. I just put up my jumper sleeve, and it just looks like a bangle from the outside. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Um,
That is absolutely, absolutely amazing.
yeah, we love
Gosh,
sensory
you're
fidgets and
only
helping
16.
kids. So
You're only 16. That's incredible. So you've touched on this a little bit, but just tell us at 6 you had a dream to, create this haven for children facing medical challenges. Can you tell us a bit more about this and just what inspired you at 6?
yeah. Yeah, so at 6, I was complaining to my mum because I had all my medical challenges. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I the only one in the world with a medical condition? Why do I have to go to all these doctor appointments and all the other kids can have some fun in life? And why am I not like normal like the other kids? Um, And Mum was like, "Oh, suck it up, princess. You're not the only one." Being the nice, kind mother she is. And then I was like, "Wait, what? Really?" And she went, "Yeah, there are thousands of other kids just like you. You're not the only one." And I went, well, I'm going to go and start a business to help other kids realize that they're not alone. Because oftentimes, your parents and doctors can tell you you're not the only one, you're not the only one, but you actually need to see it to believe it. I had to actually meet other people that were like me. So I wanted to create this special world where all the pixie characters live with all these different medical conditions. You can create a pixie for any medical need. So kids who are sick or who are going through really rare medical conditions know that they're not the only ones in the world and know that there's a pixie just like them. So it's creating that inclusion and safe space for them.
Yeah. Wow, that's just absolutely amazing. How old were you when this actually became a reality?
Yeah, so I worked on this for 4 years, until I was able to meet a lady who could help me register my companies, which was fantastic, because we had no idea what to do. I just had all these different ideas. Mum was like, "Oh, write it down, write it down." So I kept writing my stories, brainstorming all my ideas. And then when I actually was able to register my companies, I was able to register them when I was 10, which was amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I published my first book when I was 12, and my website went live when I was 12 as well. So it took me like 2 years to figure out what this business thing was, and then be able to help
2 years
support
is
the
a long.
children.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Um, wow, gosh. Where do you want to go to from there? You've got this businesses, plural. Where do you want to take it? What's your
I
hope, your
have,
wish for the future?
yeah, I have a lot of dreams. One of the main ones is to support as many children as I can. I want to be able to walk into hospitals and see kids with the products. I want to walk into hospitals and see kids smiling, feeling brave, knowing they're not the only ones, knowing that in a way that they understand is important because I want them to be able to go to school and other kids realize that they're not weird, they're just different, and having that safe and inclusion in our schools, in our society, helping kids see that they're not the only ones in the world. And I would also love a big space, like a theme park for kids, to come with all the pixies there, sort of like the next Walt Disney. But I'd love to have my products
Hey,
animated, and everything. So yeah, I've got
yeah,
big
yeah.
dreams, but my main one is to support
Oh,
kids.
hold on to those dreams. They're not impossible at all. You just keep working away at them. I love the idea of a theme park with your pixie friends. That is just mind blowing. I can see that. I can visualize it. It's a great dream to hold on to. And the
I love
reasoning
speaking,
behind
so
why you're doing
yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
speaking, so I'd love to just spread and amplify my message of inclusion and magic and helping kids know that they're not the only ones is my big dream. And I know that I need an army of support to help me do that. So being able to help those kids is really important to me.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure you have that army of support and you'll gather more and more at each little
Yeah,
step that you take. So that
amazing.
is absolutely awesome. It's mind blowing what you have done in 10 years since you had this dream at 6 to being 16 now.
Thank you.
It's just amazing. It's incredible. So one last thing, no, maybe two. How does all this make you feel inside to know that you are doing this, supporting children the way that you want to, the way that you are?
Yeah, it feels sometimes a bit overwhelming, but it's often important to me to help support those kids. So I feel a lot of fulfillment. It feels really unreal to be able to have this amount of impact in my life. But honestly, I have to embrace all the different feelings.
Yeah.
And I love talking about that sort of thing. So I had to talk about like my suicide thoughts and things like that when I turned 16 on my 16th birthday. I had to talk about that to the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Conference, psychologists and psychiatrists and other medical and mental health professionals about my journey. So growing up, I experienced a lot of mental health challenges. So being able to be the voice and be an advocate for that is incredible for me. So being able to embrace how I feel to support other kids is important to me. So it definitely gives me a lot of magic inside, but sometimes it can get really hard. Just like any challenge in business, just like anything in life, it's really great to be able to create an impact, but you also need to look after yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see yourself as a future global speaker? Have you
I
spoken
would,
globally?
yeah, I mean, I am an international speaker because I've spoken to people in Indonesia and India, but I would love to
Okay.
go like to other places as well. Like I do have one in Melbourne in August, big speaking event for a week. But I would love to go to the UK and the US and just go internationally and travel around and just share and amplify my voice and share the magic around because the world needs more people who will step up and embrace who they are to show that you're not the only one and that you can be magical and you are enough for the world.
Yeah, yeah. And that is certainly so special. Um,
I love
Gosh,
speaking,
wow.
so I've been able to speak to like 3,000 people. So I'll be able to speak to 3,000 people in Melbourne in a week. So that'll be really amazing to amplify my
Yeah,
voice. So I love sharing about childhood trauma, neurodiversity, and its impacts, just because you never know who's in the audience, being that voice for people. I mean, there was this one lady who came up to me after my suicide talk. She said to me, you are so inspiring. You just gave me hope that there's something on the other side, that I can actually get through this and get through the suicidal thoughts because you're like my inspiration because you've been through this and you're on the other side. Like there is hope. You gave me hope. Thank you. And being that person for somebody
yeah,
is amazing. It's unreal. It's crazy. Like I never thought I'd have that impact. At 6, I didn't know what a business was, but I just brainstormed all my ideas. And now that I'm actually creating an impact, it just feels like, what is going on? One minute I was brainstorming in the back of the car, and now I'm an international speaker. It just doesn't feel real. So I
yeah,
definitely feel the magic. Yeah.
yeah. And you can see the magic because as you're talking about it, your face is lighting up. It's your mission, it's your legacy. It is your face is just you just glow when you speak about it, so you can see that magic coming from inside. Um, One last question: what are some acts of kindness? Just a general question. Do you think people could do just to make this world a kinder, more loving, more gentle place to live in?
I think definitely taking a step towards embracing who everyone is, helping support them, include them, help them they're not the only ones, like not downgrading them, rolling their eyes because of someone having a medical condition, especially for kids with
Yeah,
allergies, we're often overlooked. Um, Helping people feel more included, knowing that everyone is equal, everyone is enough, and everyone is made for a certain purpose in this world. And it's important that we all just let each other be. Why do we have to be so angry and bitter and nasty because of who someone is? Like, actually believe in the power of the world, believe in their power to change the world. We're all here for a reason, and we all just need to embrace who we are. Embrace inclusion, embrace neurodivergence, embrace medical conditions. It's all who we are.
wow, gosh, that's just incredible. So we'll